Man, I'm back. I'm back. Nobody panic. I know y'all were all super worried that I was disappearing for good, but no. I could not be defeated by the virus of unspecified origin. Right, YouTube? No, it could not defeat me. I'm pretty sure I got it in, Florida. Somebody in Florida gave it to me while I was having fun at TPUSA's SAS. Because I got home and I was tired, but I was like, man, I've been going for 2 weeks straight. Of course I'm tired. You know, I just came back from a big trip. I'm ready for some rest. No, I wasn't just tired. Because like, we had that Monday show, and I was like, it's a pretty good Monday show. Nope, I wasn't just tired. As the days progressed, my body was like, nah, dude. Nah, you're sick. You're sick. And I was like, so my wife forced me to take a COVID test. Turned up positive. So, as you can see, I'm better. But, I mean, I'm still, my throat is still, like, super scratchy. So if I start coughing, I'm going to have to, like... This stream brought to you by Hall's Breezers. A gift from my wife. So that I can stream good. So I can stream gooder than usual. How have you guys been in my absence? Have you guys been longing for my return? Have you been, like, you know, counting the days? Hoping, praying that I won't die? So that you will have something to do around this time of the day. You know what the worst part of COVID is? It's not even, like, necessarily... like, for me, I mean, your mileage may vary, but for me, one of the worst parts about COVID is, like, how tired I get. I get so tired. Why am I so small? I feel like I'm super small. We gotta make me a little bigger. There we go. Yeah, the fatigue is what kills me, right? During COVID, all I want to do is sleep. And, like, I don't know, it just, like, especially when you have to, like, you're like me, you know, and you have to work in order to get paid. It's torture. It's absolutely, you can't just, like, sit down and relax. You have to work. You gotta work, bitch. Okay? And then, after you're done being sick with COVID, you get this persistent cough afterward. It's like a final FU from COVID. You know, it's gone, but it leaves you with this nice little gift basket of scratchy throat. COVID's stupid. Stupid. I have a pregnant wife and 3 boys. I'm always looking for purpose. Dude, I have a pregnant wife. What's up? Mini Raptor, when is your wife due? Mine's due on December 2nd. Another fun week. Boy, do we live in interesting and fun times. We are making history. People are going to look back at these times and think the Democrats were crazy. Dude, you know what's funny, Amtru? It's funny that you say that because the other day I was like, I feel like we're going to look back at this and we're going to look at, like, history's going to look back at this moment and be like, man, those were some serious dark times. They're going to look back at this moment in the same way that we look back at, like, Woodrow Wilson's presidency. You know, just this, like, really bizarre, like, how did we get to this point? Why did we allow this to happen moment? You know, everything from policy to, like, Hollywood has been nothing but stupid. It is dumb, right? And if history repeats itself, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go fall back into something like I don't know. Like, I feel like we're living in the 70s right now, and we're about to go into the fun 80s where everything goes kind of like, hey, we're tired of taking everything so seriously, we're gonna not take everything so seriously now. And then we're gonna go into the 90s, and then, you know, everything was getting a little bit more serious. And then we're going to re-loop back to where we are now, like 40 years from now. Hopefully, hopefully it won't be as bad as now, you know, but good God, I'm over it, man. Welcome back, but I'm going to panic anyhow. Nice thing about living up here, sometimes a week or 10 days go by, Mrs. Animal, and I don't see another human. God, that must be so nice. Brandon got to be on stage. Good discussion. Thank you so much, Amtrue. What Amtrue's talking about is I was invited to speak at SAS. Like I said, I talked about this on Monday. And the YouTube video is up on the Red State YouTube as it is right now. You can go and watch my little panel that I had with Julio Rosas and Matt Boyle of Breitbart. And we had a discussion about where we stand as in the new media. We discussed a lot of really great stuff, and I had a really good time. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be. It was actually a really good time up there, and I want to do it again. And I wouldn't mind doing it alone, either. I would like to just go up and have a nice little TED Talk. I missed you, too. I missed you, too. Don't die in this. I enjoy these streams. I'm not going anywhere, all right? China's not going to defeat me. China ain't defeating me. Aw, Pickle Square, I missed you, too. Morning, Becca! Funeral flowers are for the equivalent of take a gas, so you're out of luck if you die. God, that's so sad. The Twilight Zone period for the history of America. No joke. Imagine if you will. A government that seems intent on bringing down its own country. I don't know, I remember the 70s very well. These times seem to be quite a bit loonier than the 70s. I just, everything I read about the 70s was, like, really strange. Really strange. Or maybe we're living through the 60s, because that was a huge era for, like, a decade of political activism. And then maybe the 70s was, like, the backlash to that. The 70s was kind of like the drug-addled, like, we've made ourselves way too serious, and so we're just, nothing matters. We're going into nihilism. Inject everything into my veins so I don't have to feel it anymore. And then the 80s was like the rebound, I guess, from the 70s, which was like fun, Or I don't know, maybe that was just the era of really good TV that made things seem better. Saved by the Bell, Any, like, Nickelodeon during the 80s was actually pretty solid. What else do we have? I mean, Hollywood movies in the 80s, give me a break. Hello? 80s movies? 80s music? Let's just go back to the 80s. Let's just go back. We gotta go back to the future, Marty. We're gonna talk about some... Here's another reason that we need to go back to the future. Or back to the past. Back to the... You know what I'm dropping. Alright, you're picking up what I'm putting down. I was watching the internet, like you do. I was watching the internet, and the UK is a wacky place. It's a wacky place, to say the least. But it's a place that, like, from time to time, the police will go way too far. And I watch it, and the only thing that comes to my mind is, like, God forbid I ever have to move to the UK. Because if I do, the police there are going to arrive at my door at some point in time in order to threaten me or try to intimidate me or arrest me or take something from me. And when they do, the American in me is going to go 1776. And I'm probably not going to either survive the day or have freedom for the rest of my life. I will be in prison. I don't know if y'all saw this, but it made me so mad that I needed to talk about it. So, did y'all see this? Watch British police go full fascist, arrest man over a meme in a wild scene. Over a meme. All right. Before I get started, go to redstate.com. Everything I'm about to talk about is on redstate.com. Please join up for the VIP program. You can use promo code Morse on sign up. MRSE. It gets you a discount. It really helps us out. And I know I say that every time, but I cannot stress this enough. It really helps us out. They are not fans of us. When I say they, I mean the people in Silicon Valley who control everything from our reach to our ad revenue. They have tried on many occasions and are actually, I can't get too far into it, but are trying right now to make it harder for us to actually make a dime. So anytime you sign up for VIP, it really does help us out. It stops us from having to obey their rules, play by their rules. All right, I'm tired of playing by their rules. I'm pretty sure you are too. So we'll make this a community effort. But also, please like the stream. Please like the stream. The algorithm loves a good like burst, a like bomb. Please like the stream. It really helps us out. British police go full fascist, arrest a man over a meme in a wild scene. So I saw this and I about. You ever see something so mad that you like have to take a short walk around your living room or your house or something? You know? Is that just me? Am I the only guy who like gets mad at something he sees on the internet and I'm like, all right, you know what? All right. And then you just kind of walk around for a second and you come back and you sit down. Just me? Am I the only one who gets that? So this popped up. I'm just gonna let you guys watch it. I'm not gonna comment until after the video. I'm just gonna let you guys watch it.
No. The Hampshire police would.
As you can see, British police in their stupid looking little uniforms and hats. I don't know why. Who decided on the checkered for like British police? I don't understand that. So they're there. They're arresting an older gentleman. As you can, he's very dangerous. Clearly, they're wearing gloves and everything. And you're gonna see why.
Realize how ridiculous this is.
He said, "You don't realize how ridiculous this is."
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me. You don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media page. That's
not his.
Why you've been arrested.
Did you catch that? I'm gonna I'm gonna replay that one more time just so you guys hear it. Let me turn it up too. I want to make sure that y'all hear it.
No. The Hampshire police would realise how ridiculous this is. It is. Look, I'm trying to come to this.
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me. You don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media page. That's
not his.
Why you've been arrested.
UK police are arresting somebody because he posted something to social media that caused someone else anxiety. Despite the fact that it was a repost from somebody else. He reposted something. And the police showed up at his door to arrest him because it caused someone else anxiety. Okay. First off, I have so much to say about this that like I'm having trouble finding out where to start. Right? I would lead with, well, thank God we live in America, guys. That don't think that that's going to be a thing for long. I have no doubt whatsoever that at some point in time you're going to see video of a police officer arresting someone or going to their house to knock on their door over social media posts. I have no doubt about it. Because we currently live in a society where the powerful look at something like this happening. They look at something like this happening and they go, oh, that would be a really great idea. Because then the internet would be friendlier. Because then the internet would be safer. Imagine that, given this would probably most likely happen in a blue state or a very blue city. I would say, well, this would never happen in Texas, but I mean, there are blue cities here that are bluer than blue. Imagine that you say something online where you misgender somebody and police come knocking on your door to ask you questions about it. Because a politician saw it and decided to label you a person of interest, a person who might be dangerous. They do it in order to push something like red flag laws on you. You said something, and so they can come to your home now to take away your firearms because now they're afraid that you're going to go on a killing spree, specifically targeting transgender people. It ain't that far away, guys. You might think that we live in a nation of free speech. Think again, man. They are trying their absolute best to make it so that police can show up at your door over your social media posts. And they might already have. And I just, maybe I've seen that story and I forgot it because like I see a bajillion stories a day. Very well might have already happened. I don't know. But can you imagine a place where you simply type something, a message, or you post a meme, and it's not even a meme that actually targets anybody, like, you know, for violence. It doesn't suggest that, you know, oh, these, you know, people are, they deserve to have, you know, discrimination against them. They deserve to have, you know, violence done upon them, right? It just simply, you posted it and someone got anxiety over it. They were like, oh, this made me feel so bad. I'm literally shaking. I'm triggered. And they call 911. Or, I don't care what it is. Britain, I don't know what that is. And they come to your house and tell you have to come outside. You're under arrest. Why? Because you caused someone else anxiety. Bro, that is a dictatorship. That is some V for Vendetta stuff. Okay? They are arresting you over someone else's fifis. Can I just say this? I think that anxiety, I've really, really thought about this a lot, and I'm going to talk about this more. I feel like anxiety in our society is so prevalent because authorities or people in authoritative positions, whether it be politicians, whether it be even doctors, activists, you know, I feel like they are, like, anxiety is so prevalent, and influencers, because we put so much legitimacy on feelings. You know, I've gotten into arguments with people where they literally will use their feelings as an argument point, as a point against my facts. The whole facts don't care about your feelings things is absolutely true, but it's the reason Ben Shapiro says that is because there are people out there who believe that their feelings are absolute fact. They operate their reality around their feelings. And it's sad that now we have a society, a West, I should say, a West, which includes the UK. We have a Western hemisphere, a Western society, a Western culture that will go and make someone else's hurt feelings, their reality, your reality. You broke the law because someone else outside of any law, like lawmaking position or any kind of constitution or legal document, someone said you broke the law. That's what this boils down to. Someone said you broke the law. And so they're coming to your house to arrest you. Or at least make your life miserable legally. That's where we are now. And again, don't think that the First Amendment will save you. They will try to find a way around it. They're trying to do it all the time. I remember back in the day, New York actually tried to make it like finable. And I don't even know if they pulled this off. I think it got struck down somewhere, but I'm not sure. They tried to make it finable for businesses to accidentally misgender you. And when I say finable, I don't mean like a $200 fee there. No, thousands of dollars. Guys, this is where we are. Do y'all want to see the meme that he posted? This is the meme apparently that he posted. What's funny about this is that they proved the dude right. I see that you have insulted the dear leader. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. It's like that. Have y'all seen that Parks and Rec? That clip of that guy with Fred Armisen? And apparently like some foreign dictator or something, or like an emissary was coming to visit the town or something. I forget. I actually don't know if it was Parks and Rec. No, anyway. So he's saying like, they're talking about like the laws they have in their country. And he's like, if you overcook fish, straight to jail. Take too long in the bathroom, straight to jail. That's Britain now. That's the UK. Straight to jail. You post something on the internet, somebody doesn't like, straight to jail. God. Oh, it's so sad. Like, it's sad, but it makes me so mad because I know for a fact that there are people on the left who are just like, this is so great. This is so great. People need to be arrested over this. For a healthier society, for a safer society, we need people to be arrested whenever they go online and spew hate that will actually get people killed. Dude, no, shut up. Shut up. I'm so sick and tired of this. They're actually out there killing trans people. No, they're not. You know why trans people die? You know why they're murdered? For the same reason everybody else is murdered. They did studies. It's the same. They are trying to use their status as a sacred cow right now to be able to control everyone else in our society. If this was the meme, who first off, I want to know who reported it and said, I have anxiety. Because effectively, they're now a lawmaker. And don't think that this won't happen in our society. Don't think it won't. They have effectively made sacred cows lawmakers now. Police will show up at your door because somebody in a group that can't be questioned, according to the left, can just say, he broke the law. He hurt my feelings. Arrest him. It ain't that far from us, guys. It ain't that far from us. This should infuriate. I know you're not in the UK, or at least if anybody in my audience is in the UK. Sorry about you. That's y'all got to get that together. Y'all got to get some sort of freedom of speech going. Okay, not that it's going to completely save you, but you gotta. But again, I mean, just because we have a First Amendment does not mean that the left will not try to implement some sort of restriction against speech. Again, I mean, you look at what they're doing to the Second Amendment right now. You know, they're like, oh, yeah. No, you can bear arms, sure, but you can only have a musket. Because everything else is bannable. We're going to ban AR-15s. We're going to ban anything that is magazine-fed at all. I remember in Colorado, when I first moved there, they passed a ban on magazines that held more than six bullets. Which my 1911 was out because it had 7. You know? It just goes to show you that they will try to find a workaround on your rights in some way, shape, or form. Because authoritarians and dictators, it's just what they do. It's what they do. It's in their nature. They have to find a way to control you somehow. Somehow. Don't think that this is going to stay here. Don't think it won't. Don't think it won't. Wokeness it does not care about laws. Wokeness does not care about rights. Wokeness does not care about individuality. In fact, it abhors all those things. It is coming for you. Sorry to say that. So someone's feelings got hurt because he watched a meme? Yes. Someone's feeling got hurt because he watched a meme. He saw a meme and it hurt his feelings, and then suddenly he got the power of the law working for him. He became, effectively, a person who can take your freedom from you based on how he feels about what you've done. Not a lawmaker at all. Not a lawmaker, just a regular guy. Or Zim. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter. He was not in a position, or she, I don't know. I don't care. Was not in a position of authority. Just a regular person who got anxiety over a post. But because she or he got anxiety over a post, she or he suddenly had the power to order the police to come and arrest a person because of her hurt fifis. The Brits had balls once. I would love to know what happened to them. After France surrendered, I think it was the London Times that ran a cartoon of a British soldier shaking his fist at a sky full of German airplanes. The caption, "Very well, alone." Where's that Britain? If another person is feeling anxiety over media, then that person should never leave their house. Or just log off. Just log off. You know what I do when I see something that I don't like on the internet? I click off. And I don't mean like not like. I mean like really don't like. If something truly bothers me that I see on the internet, and you're human, you're gonna get bothered by some things. It's perfectly natural to be bothered by something. Just walk away. You can remove yourself from that situation, but don't demand that other people have to be removed from this situation. You know, your feelings should not dictate everyone else's good time. And if I'm 100, I agree with this. I agree with this. They are societal dictators. The transgender activist community. They are. Case in point, they had a man arrested over posting this. Ugh. If another person is feeling, I read that. What the F is up, homies? Brandon looking extra tasty. What's you doing, boo? How you doing? What's up, half baked? That's what I was gonna say. Well, we are the only country with a First Amendment. If that goes, we are in deep doo-doo. It's all, look, like I said, man, don't think for 5 seconds that First Amendment is going to hold them back from trying to take something, like limit your rights. Don't think it won't. You think that there aren't people in these think tanks, George Soros funded Media Matters nonsense, trying to sit there finding a way? They are there, man. Look at what how do I know? Brandon, that sounds tinfoil. It's not tinfoil. Look at what they're doing right now with the Second Amendment. They're trying to limit your right. They're not saying, oh, well, we're not going to take every gun away. You'll still have the right to bear arms. But not these arms, and not these arms, and not these arms. And it just so happens to be the arms that we use the most in our society to protect ourselves. Go figure. It'll happen over gender infinity and nitwittery. Joe's, yeah. I think that if I had to give the award for the most, the award for, the most societal dictatorial group in the West, it would be the transgender activist community. They straight up do not care about rights or individuality. They don't care about just opinion or anything like that. You obey them or it's over for you. They didn't have the power of law behind them for a while, but they did have the power to shut you down in the court of public opinion and make you a pariah, get you fired, ruin your life, you know. They do have that. But if they could have the law, if they could swing a gavel, ooh! Well, Colorado, if you're rafting, boarding, and curse too loudly in the presence of children, you can be arrested. Fact, good God. In Colorado, if you are arrested. Really? I did not know that. People in our government hurt my feelings a lot. Can I have them arrested? No, Cleo. No, Cleo. You can't have them arrested. They don't get arrested for anything. They can insider trade and not get arrested. They can basically have unsecurity emails and make deals with Russians with an entire laptop full of evidence and not get arrested. So, sorry. You are a peasant. They are royalty. They don't get to get arrested. You know what? Shakira is being arrested by another country for tax evasion, and I was very surprised by that. I was like, man, someone like an A-lister like Shakira spending 8 years in prison over failure to pay their taxes in a country outside of this one, that's pretty crazy. I'm surprised that they got that far with her. The English emergency anxiety line. I have an issue here. I don't self-censor. I will pick and choose my words carefully, though. Still get the same point across, too. I will say this about... They made conservatives smarter by making us get more clever about how we express our opinions and our stances. You know? I will say that. I think we did get more clever. There's one thing that did come out of this. There's a reason. I think there's such a good reason that the right is so good at memeing. And the left just sucks at it. The left doesn't have to put any effort into it, right? But the right does. And so we become super effective. Ruby Ridge was not a good thing. I like the meme. It's so accurate. You see the problem? Save 4 flags. It's almost like a Rorschach test. Are you seeing the Nazi flag in there? Because I just see 4 flags. Sounds like you got the problem. When RuPaul makes a reference to the Gestapo, you know stuff is bad. Oh, it's horrible. The Gestapo is a really good way to put it. It's a really good way to describe the LGBT activist community, the Gestapo. You cannot defy them. You cannot speak ill of them. And if you do, they will ruin your life. Speech already being controlled on YouTube. Bro, true. I've got a warning that says so. When I moved to Colorado in the late 80s, it was South Wyoming. When we left for Alaska, it had become East California. Man, I do miss Colorado every single day. It is such a beautiful place, but I do not disagree with that. Given their heat wave recently, would this make them red hot? And the sad thing is that most of the state is still South Wyoming. It's the Denver-Boulder axis that overrules the rest of the state. I spent a lot of time in Fort Collins, and Fort Collins people are just cool, man. They're so cool. They're so libertarian. I loved it. Grew up in Vail Valley. Man, I used to go to, recently, I went to Vail Valley, Beaver Creek. Hello. Oh my God. I miss going up to Colorado a lot. Seriously. I always tell my wife we're going to wind up in Colorado one day. Got firewood south of gypsum. Living the American dream, kind of. Know where Firebox Park is? I high-centered my old Bronco. I high-centered my old Bronco up in there once. Took me 2 hours and a high lift jack hauling rocks to get it loose. Good Lord. John Kerry can talk to foreign governments behind our government back. Oh, no, it gets better. I mean, Eric Swalwell can sleep with a Chinese spy and not suffer any blowback from that. He can still be on a national security committee. It's fine. It's fine. Don't question it, peasants. Okay? Just eat your gruel. Get excited for next product. Shakira. You know who Shakira is. Those hips don't lie. Don't forget outright admitting willingness to commit treason for China before Congress. Nothing doing there either. Dude, this is one of the reasons that I'm so into the idea, 100% into the idea of term limits, of, restructuring the rules of Congress. Because, I mean, like, these barnacles who learn to take advantage of the tax system, who learn to take advantage of stock market while they're in there, like Nancy Pelosi does. Dude, I would 100% love to just go in and remake all the rules for Congress and be like, hey, you're getting there, you get a max of 4 years in Congress. 4. That's how much you get. Okay? And you're there to serve the people. So you're not going to get this big, huge, giant paycheck. All right? You don't think that you are. All right? Certain things are going to be well off of the table. Like your living conditions, your living space is going to be assigned to you like a dorm. I mean, if we could cut back on how much these politicians make and how much we spend on politicians, like Nancy Pelosi, I read at one point in time that on taxpayer dollars, she had taken like so many trips that cost well over $1 million, including the bulk of it going toward alcohol. So, I mean, how much money are we losing? Smash that like button. Thank you, Half Baked. Shakira, Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that. You'd hit that with what? I worked at the Park Hyatt in Beaver Creek and went snowboarding after work. Dude, I miss Beaver. Y'all got me jonesing for Colorado now. I actually don't know who Shakira is. Has she ever opened for George Strait? Shakira is a belly dancer singer. Then she can move them hips. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Dude, I got a soft spot for Shakira. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to change this popped up today, and I was talking about how anxiety does its thing in our society. And I saw this, and I thought it was really interesting. Depression is likely not caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain, study says. Before I start, I want to make something very clear. I have opinions about depression. I have opinions about anxiety. And I have had people on both the right and the left get very angry with me when I talk about depression. People get very, very, very defensive when I talk about depression. People wear, especially nowadays, they almost wear their depression like a badge of like it's an identity. People that I know, and including on the right, who will talk to you about facts and figures all day and be like, facts don't care about your feelings, will turn around and get really mad at you if you mention anything about depression that might challenge their worldview of it. It's that strange. I don't get it. Depression is, especially for my generation, something that is so prevalent. And here's the thing. I 110%, I want to make this very clear. I think depression is obviously a very real thing. I think it's a very dangerous thing. And I'm very happy that nowadays, especially for men, we're paying attention to mental health. I think it's really good. But I think it's a double-edged sword. I think that we pay so much attention to mental health that we have made your feelings, and as I just showed you guys, your feelings the definer of what reality is around you. In other words, you could be looking straight at a fact in the face. Right at it. And because your feelings tell you that it's not good, then your feelings are what are fact. I apologize for having to eat this. If I talk for too long right now, thanks to COVID, the after effect of COVID, I get scratchy in the throat, and I can already feel it happening. So excuse me while I eat this cough drop and talk to you guys. A new thing, for the longest time, science thought that depression was just a chemical imbalance in the brain. And I always kind of had a weird issue with that. In the back of my head, I was like, there's something that doesn't hit right for me on that. Do I think that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance? For some people, absolutely. I think that there is a chemical imbalance for some people. But like the amount of pills we're shoving down the throats left and right. And it was weird to me. It's like that many people have a chemical imbalance. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. I can remember like back when I was a kid, they told me at one point in time that I had ADD. I was in 5th grade. And so they started shoving Ritalin down my throat as a kid, as a little boy. They said that I had trouble paying attention in class. I wouldn't sit still. What does that sound like to you? A boy, right? But they were treating boys like defective girls at the time. And I learned out much later in life as I started to do this job because it always seemed like it was a very odd thing for them to do. Turned out later that there was incentives that were happening around that time for schools to get kids on ADD medication, Ritalin. They were getting kickbacks from the state, from the government, if they did it. So I was effectively funding extra, getting the school extra money by being assigned to take Ritalin. Did all of us have ADD that they assigned us to, when they were shoving pills down our throats? Did we all actually have ADD? Probably not. Probably not. We were kids. We were little boys. Of course, sitting still is going to be a little more difficult. Paying attention is going to be a little more difficult, And this was around the time that they were starting to reduce playtime outside. And recess was getting reduced more and more and more and more and more. So it just seemed kind of strange. Now, so that kind of made me a little prejudiced against the industry that shoves pills down our throat to change our moods. And at one point in time, when I learned the numbers for depression medication, it kind of reminded me of that. Do we all have depression? We all get depressed at some point in time, but do we all have depression? No. But regardless, they're like, oh, well, you know what? Here, you have depression, take this pill. It'll make you feel better. Doesn't solve your problems. It just makes you feel better about them. For some odd reason that never struck me as right. Then this, researchers from University College London conducted an umbrella review of past meta-studies and systematic analysis, all these big words, of depression's relationship to serotonin. For years, a chemical imbalance of serotonin was widely viewed as the culprit for depression, resulting in the widespread use of antidepressants. The study published this week in the Journal of Molecular Psychiatry concluded that there's no clear evidence that serotonin levels or serotonin activity is responsible for depression. Thought we had a chemical imbalance. What's the deal? A recent review study is pushing back against long-held views in medicine that depression is caused by a serotonin imbalance in the brain. Researchers from University College London conducted an umbrella review of past meta-studies and systematic analysis of depression's relationship to serotonin activity that includes tens of thousands of participants. The study published this week in the Journal Molecular Psychiatry concluded that there's no clear evidence that serotonin levels or serotonin activity is responsible for depression. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in governing mood, sleep, digestion, and other body functions. For years, a chemical imbalance of serotonin has widely been viewed as the culprit for depression, resulting in the widespread use of antidepressants like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, which boost serotonin in the brain. Researchers say the review calls into question the basis for the use of antidepressants. It is always difficult to prove a negative, but I think we can safely say that after a vast amount of research conducted over several decades, there is no convincing evidence that depression is caused by serotonin abnormalities, particularly by lower levels of reduced activity of serotonin. Okay. Let's unpack this for just a second. My generation, and especially Gen Z, have been fed this idea that we have chemical imbalances, that something is wrong with us. We have these weird problems in our brain that make us do this unnatural stuff. You can't pay attention because you have ADD. You can't pay attention or sit still because you have ADHD. You can't feel happy because you have a lack of serotonin. God knows what else they're telling us. I mean, I do know that we're also at the stage now where they're saying, oh, well, you're unhappy because your hormones are wrong. We have to give you different hormones in order for you to feel like you're a person. I think that we as a society put so much stock into our feelings. That we're so damaged as well, that we're so wrong in the head, that we have, that there's something defective about us. And the only way to solve it is to throw medication at us. put us on these pills, on that pill, all these pills. There are drug addicts walking around America right now who don't know that they're drug addicts because they have been prescribed to them by a doctor. And again, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. I'm sure that there are people out there who actually do suffer, that they do have those chemical imbalances. I'm sure that they exist. Just like I'm sure that there are actually people out there who have gender dysphoria. Right? But we currently live in a time where we're constantly told something is defective about you. And so the only way to get that fixed is to throw a pill down your throat. Something never sat right with me. How is it that we have a pharmaceutical boom right in the middle of the 90s with concentrations of Ritalin, of Adderall, and they saw that they could get rich off of this. I mean, the if you look at the graph of requests for Ritalin or prescriptions for Ritalin, it actually maintained for a good long while, and then around the 90s, it hockey sticked. Billion dollar industry. I think that's part of the reason that we have things like going on like this. We put so much stock into our feelings that now they're going off and arresting people for hurting other people's feelings. We got to fight back against this, guys. We got to find the truth. Seriously, because I think stuff like this can really sincerely damage us as a species. This "you are defective and therefore you must take a pill" outlook on life. This cannot be healthy. It's not healthy. I mean, I've seen people who have been on Ritalin and antidepressant medications and stuff, and then they get off of them and they return to normal and they feel like their head is just so much more clear. I won't say who in my life because I don't want to get in trouble, but I mean, like, I watched it happen. It's scary, man. It's scary. I've got a hard spot for you. John and half-baked. I've met people that are not happy and never will be. A pretty sad way to go through life. I mean, there are people out there, Amshrew, and you are correct, who just... that's their personality. Their personality is to be a victim. I mean, the entire woke ideology is based around that idea. I am a victim, and I will never be happy because of them. Of them. And all of these people need to give me some sort of reverence. Give me more than they have. Make me more equal than everybody else in order for me to be happy. But they will never be happy. The industry is... It thrives on never being happy. I'll happily give that badge away to someone else. Sucks. 99% of the people that say they have depression or anxiety are using it as a crutch. The only thing they have anxiety about is people telling them how it is. I said at one point in time, this is a true story. I posted on social media that there are a lot of people out there who are using depression as kind of like an identity thing, and that they don't really have depression. They're just pretending so that they'll get sympathy and reverence or deference from people. And I think I saw that, like, because it was happening on Tumblr a lot, and I was like, these people are using it as a way to seem cool, to fit in. I have depression. My life sucks. And the amount of people that got mad at me was insane. My friends, people I was like, people who had hitherto had been like, "Oh, Brandon, you're so right about everything else," suddenly turned around and turned on me. Were like, "How dare you say something like, bro, tell me I'm wrong. I mean, don't tell me, prove me I'm wrong. Who are you to say what people do or don't have depression?" Bro, I'm not pointing at individuals and being like, "Oh, well, that person doesn't actually have depression." I'm just saying that there's no possible way There's none. No possible way that we suddenly see an uptick of people claiming they have depression. It's the same thing with transgenderism. An uptick of people who claim that they have X, Y, and Z when it became in vogue to have it. And they actually have it. There's no possible way. People clamp on to fads all the time. And sometimes these fads are super damaging. Transgenderism being a very good example of that. I'm sure that most of the people who have anxiety, who say they have anxiety nowadays, or depression, I'm sure that they do have some form of it, but I don't think that they suffer from the chemical imbalance, an actual chemical imbalance. They start to when they start taking those pills to curb that chemical imbalance. Now they've got one. And that's not to say that somebody, like, having depression isn't something that, you know, doesn't happen in people's lives. It absolutely does. I've been depressed. You know. But there's a difference between having depression and being, you know, physically incapable of feeling happy. You know? I'm sure that these people actually do exist, and I want them to get help. But there's a difference between this and this. It is situational depression. Everybody suffers it at some point in time. It's up to you to get your way out of it. But too many times, the doctors get the pharmaceutical companies, the doctors, I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into this. But they say that you have this when you just have this. All right? And you're not working your way through it. You're just taking a pill. It doesn't make your problems go away. You're just taking a pill to make it seem not as bad. There's something so dangerous about this. You have to learn to work your way out of things without that instant gratification of a pill. This is one of the reasons I am like dead set. I do not take that stuff. I don't get into it, man. The last time I took an Adderall was, I think, 2 years ago, and I regretted it. I hated it, every moment of it. And I can remember, like, they had me on Adderall as like a teenager, and I didn't eat or anything. And it, like, Adderall, Elon Musk is right. Adderall is a anger amplifier. It's all it is. My only mental issue is being a writer. That's a species of mental illness I can't not write. Same, bro. My little brother was put on red for 2 years, and finally when parent took him off it, we were homeschooled. I'm telling you, there's something about it. There's like an entire industry, guys. We need to know more about the human brain for sure. But I just do not believe that shoving pills down people's throats in order to make them better mentally it's not the play. There's a background reason why many people are very sad. And today I can understand why. You've got social media, which always it consistently makes you up front in front of everybody. You're consistently judged by them. They said that in the future, I forget who said this. In the future, people will thirst for like a 15 minutes of not fame, but anonymity. 15 minutes of anonymity. We're so judged and constantly in front of people thanks to social media. And it's like that is enough. Like, it makes you want to perform. You see your friends on Instagram and they're living their best life. They have all these pictures of this vacation they took and this, you know, beautiful moment with their family and this fun they're having, and they're living their best life. And then, like, you look at your life and you're like, my life's not like that. You know, so you have this social media. We have forgotten how to communicate with each other as a society because of social media. You know, it used to be that you knew your neighbors. You knew them. You knew their names. You would go to their barbecues. Nowadays, and I forget where I saw this, you know, like, most people don't even know their neighbor's name. The one that lives right next door to them. Just a few feet away. There's no community anymore. It's all online. You're consistently talking with strangers that you will never meet. never form a true bond with. You are isolated, and you've never had more ability to communicate before in your entire life, and you feel isolated. Like there's so much that's contributing to and then on top of that, you have the mainstream social laws, these arbitrary laws that are created by people who hate you. They hate society. They're sacred cows, and they want you to obey them at all times. And if you don't, your life could be ruined. You'll never meet them in your entire life, and yet somehow they rule you. All of these things can contribute, this modern society can contribute to a vast amount of depression. And anxiety especially. You know? We have forgot to talk to each other and to turn it off when you need to. Turn it off. You know? I could go on about this for free. I think I just got 100% stun locked on something I shouldn't have. I really was thrown into the deep end of the pool and told to swim around 6 or 7. I learned to swim real quick. Not well, but it worked. My dad did the same thing to me. I think I was like 4 or 5. And he was like, come on. And he would back up as I would swim toward him. My cousin learned to swim before he learned to walk. That's actually true. There must always be a balance between feeling and logic. For many, that balance seems unachievable. We need to push personal responsibility for one's emotions, not just personal responsibility for one's actions. Because right now, we have a society where if you feel bad, you can blame it on everyone else but yourself, and it will be completely valid and reinforced. Case in point, they'll arrest you in the UK for hurting somebody's fifis. That's the society in the West that we live in right now. Your emotions are beholden to everyone else. The only action that you can take to fix it is to take this pill. That's the only action you have. The only option left to you in this cruel, cruel world filled with everybody who hates you and is victimizing you. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Personal responsibility and how you feel. I'm not saying that you can't be affected by the things that you see on the outside or what people say to you. Of course, that's going to happen. But if you are sitting there and making yourself beholden at all times to the way that to somebody else making you feel better, then you're screwed, dude. Of course, you're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel like you can't make a difference. You bought the lie that you are somehow powerless when it comes to yourself. I can't get on board with that, man. Happy, content people mean less money and power. That is 100% true, Andrew. I was on a benzo for 8 years. I've been sober 3 years. This 11th. Congratulations, man. Honestly, I'm still on Suboxone because of the chemical changes that benzos made in my brain. I still get withdrawals without it. That sucks. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. But good for you, man, and good for you, Amtrue, for stopping drinking. Much happier in life now. Makes more sense than being intoxicated all the time. Yeah, amen. There's a difference between this and points names. So there's something dangerous about this. Yeah, let's get to this. I'm sorry I went on that long rant. That was actually completely unplanned. I got a little stun locked. About it. Amped up and keeping that up with the Joneses mentality. John, you nailed it. That is exactly true. It's the I'm not like that. My life isn't as good as theirs mentality. And I can't imagine how many, I'm getting stun locked again. I'm sorry. How many marriages have been broken up because of that mentality? Well, Stacy's husband got her this and got her that. And on TikTok, all these husbands are doing all this stuff for their wives. How come you don't do? If he cared, he would. Good God in heaven, man. The internet is not a real place. The internet is fake. It is people performing. Even your neighbor who posts stuff online, even innocently, about a good time they're having is performing. Okay? Let's all just... If I could arrange so much stuff on Instagram to make my life look like it is just the best life ever. Okay? I would cause... I could cause so much depression, I could probably dissolve a marriage. Okay? With my Instagram, if I really truly wanted to, because that's how dangerous Instagram is. Curated nonsense. Because guaranteed, Stacy, not my Stacy, my Stacy's awesome. Stacy and her husband, they go home after their good time that she posted on Instagram, and they're still dealing with the exact same nonsense you are. She's looking on Instagram and going, everyone else's life is so good. I do shovel the sidewalks in the winter, and I know a few of my neighbors. Good. Get to know your neighbors. Maybe that's the lesson of this stream. Go meet your neighbors. Go have fun with them. Hold a barbecue, invite people. I'm guilty of it too. I'm actually very guilty of it myself. I'm not perfect. It's funny, I actually talk to my neighbors, but I don't know their names. And they told me their names, but I'm just so horrible with names. I'm so bad with names. I also quit smoking years ago, and I don't need another vice that costs too much and will kill me early. I have food for that. I did make me short, but good job, noob. I quit smoking 2 years ago. New Nancy Pelosi will visit Taiwan. China immediately responds. So for those of you who don't know what's happening, Nancy Pelosi is actually doing something that I think is pretty cool. Don't log off. Wait. Hear me out. Let me land. All right. Apparently Nancy Pelosi has decided to piss off China, and I'm all about it. I'm just going to go ahead and read this to you guys. This is up on Red State right now. This is from Banshee. For the week prior to Rep. Nancy Pelosi's Asian tour, a game of cat and mouse commenced between the United States and China over a potential visit to Taiwan by the House Speaker. Originally, Pelosi was indicating she would go despite the White House pushing her not to. Another exercise in knee-bending by Joe Biden to the communists, which is very interesting. The White House didn't want her to go, and Nancy Pelosi went anyway. Schism! Pelosi seemed to have agreed at the final moment, putting no mention of Taiwan, which is a country, on her itinerary. Yet, a new report from CNN sourced by Taiwanese and U.S. officials now says she will visit the island. So she didn't have Taiwan on her itinerary. China apparently got wind that she was or something and lost it. And now she's like, well, I'm going fine. I'm going to go to Taiwan. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to visit Taiwan as part of her tour of Asia, according to a senior Taiwanese government official and a U.S. official, despite warnings from the Biden administration officials who are worried about China's response to such a high-profile visit. The stop, the first for a U.S. House Speaker in 25 years, is not currently on Pelosi's public itinerary and comes at a time when U.S.-China relations are already at a low point. The Taiwanese official added that she is expected to stay in Taiwan overnight. It is unclear when exactly Pelosi will land in Taipei. It looks like the absence of the visit on Pelosi's itinerary was simply to throw the Chinese off and to buy time. Now that the trip has been leaked through, though the CCP is already rattling its saber, first came a passive-aggressive video showing off China's supposed military might. Let's watch this. Let's watch China flex. Dude, did they just put up a smoke machine for the jet? What's with all the smoke? Why is there smoke in every single shot? Oh, damn. Dun, 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 dun. synchronized. There's nothing scarier than synchronized canopy lowering. Just throwing that out there. Are you intimidated yet, chat? Chat, are you intimidated? Are you scared? John, whenever Sakura comes on screen. So the entire time this is going through my head, I'm like, a lot of this stuff is just, it's like bad Bollywood, you know? But I can't make fun of it too much because have you seen the videos that our military releases? If we had to make a response video to this, guaranteed our military right now would be like, when I think about the Chinese military, I just feel like I'm being disrespected. And while I want to respect all nationalities, I really do think that it would be better if we had more LGBTQ representation in China. I think that we could do better with more diversity in China. And maybe if we show them how to do it here in the US, China will follow suit and we can all have world peace. Y'all think I'm kidding? No, I actually think that would be the response. If I could put money down somewhere, that's the response that I feel that they would probably do. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Communist propaganda continues to be as cringe in 2022 as it was during the Cold War. It's one thing to have those kind of visuals in recruiting videos. It's another for a country to be so desperate to project power that they as a brushback against a foreign politician. China's military, while far better than it was, still has a bit of a big paper tiger in it. That's where the Napoleon complex comes from. Having a dictator that looks like Winnie the Pooh doesn't help either. Banshee going in. The threats got more direct after that. Beijing, August 1st from Reuters. China said on Monday that its military will not sit idly by if U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi visits Taiwan. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Don't make threats unless you're willing to back it up. They're not going to do nothing. What will actually happen when Pelosi enters Taiwanese airspace? I suspect that the Chinese are bluffing and won't actually do anything but hold some exercises off the coast. I agree with that. They can't afford an economic war with the U.S. right now, and as to a kinetic war, are they really going to assassinate the U.S. Speaker of the House? Color me skeptical, but the fact that they've threatened to do so is reason enough for Pelosi to go. Far be it from me to defend her on essentially any point in this case. It's not her grotesque personal politics being tested here. Rather, it's the U.S. resolve in the face of Chinese aggression. Banshee is absolutely right. I can despise Nancy Pelosi with every bone in my body. But, that said, go Pelosi, man. Go to Taiwan. Go to Taiwan. Flip them the bird as you fly by. The Biden administration has already spent its tenure appeasing the Chi-Coms, never mind the Biden family's business connections with the communists. To back down now would be catastrophic for long-term credibility of U.S. influence. Absolutely. I'll close with the caveat with the plans for Pelosi to visit could change again. If China does actually make a move and that puts her in danger, she will be removed from the situation immediately. It's a game of chicken right now, and we'll see how it is. I would like to send Pelosi there and see how far they're willing to go. Let them make that move. That's what I say. That's what I say. Let China get as temper tantrum-y as they want, man. If the U.S. backs down from it right now, if Nancy Pelosi calls it off, that's a victory for China. That's a moral victory for China, a morale victory for China. That really will show people in the U.S., or not the U.S., across the globe, exactly who's in charge here. All they have to do is rattle their saber a little bit, and China apparently will back down. U.S. will back down. It is imperative at this point in time that Pelosi go to Taiwan. Imperative. Like doesn't have a choice now. Nancy Pelosi is doing the right thing. This is from Joe Cunningham. And I think this deserves to be read. Because he's right. This is arguably the most painful headline I've ever written. But it was a headline that needed to be written. It is rare that Nancy Pelosi should get credit for something, but for whatever reason, she is bound and determined to fly to Taiwan in the face of actual threats from the Chinese government. The recognition of Taiwan's independence is always the right thing, and Pelosi's decision to fly there is an affirmation of the United States' recognition of such. Agreed. Earlier this morning, it was confirmed that Pelosi would be flying to Taipei, the capital of the island state, and the Chinese military had an immediate response. The response follows a now-removed tweet from Chinese state media last week, essentially threatening Pelosi if she were to fly to Taiwan. I don't know if y'all saw this, but this is from a Chinese state official who said, if U.S. fighter jets escort Pelosi's plane into Taiwan, it is an invasion. The PLA has the right to forcibly dispel Pelosi's plane and the U.S. fighter jets, including firing warning shots and making tactical movements of obstruction. If ineffective, then shoot them down. That was up on Twitter for a long time. It's a threat against a U.S. official, and they kept it up on Twitter for a long time. Naturally, and in light of the extremely poor response given by White House Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who basically said that she doesn't want to get into, what was her response? She doesn't want to get into metaphoricals or I don't know, like make-believe situations. The Biden administration is now having to act supportive of Pelosi, who is in their own party and the leader of the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives.
I ask you, we've just learned from Taiwanese and U.S. sources that Speaker Pelosi is indeed Taiwan here in the coming days as part of her Asia trip. Has the White House talked to her about this directly, and has the White House heard of any specific threats from China when it comes to this visit?
Well, the Speaker will talk to her travel. We'll let her and her staff speak to this trip that she's on. We absolutely have, before she left, as you know, communicated with her and her team about the context, geopolitical context, the facts, our analysis of what was going on in the region at every stop on this trip, as we always do. I'm not going to talk about security requirements, but clearly we want to make sure that when she travels overseas, she can do so safely and securely, and we're going to make sure of that. There's no reason for the Chinese rhetoric. There's no reason for any actions to be taken. It is not uncommon for congressional leaders to travel to Taiwan. It is very much in keeping with our policy and consistent with our support to Taiwan under the Taiwan Relations Act. We shouldn't be, as a country, we shouldn't be intimidated by that rhetoric or those potential actions. This is an important trip for the Speaker to be on, and we're going to do whatever we can to support her.
Good. Good. The amount of IDGAF that should be delivered to China at this time cannot be understated. It is imperative that we don't back down right now. Of course, it should be noted that the White House and the Pentagon have been trying to get this trip canceled for weeks. Pelosi, however, would not be swayed, and that's frankly a good thing. China and Taiwan have long had issues, but it's China's hard push for territorial expansion into the sea and influential expansion around the globe that is making this issue into a potentially catastrophic war in the region. Last week, Axios reported that China may be moving its timetable for invading Taiwan up several years in light of its dropping position on the world stage economically and otherwise. The big picture, the Chinese government has repeatedly vowed to take control of the self-governing island by force if necessary, and it reacts furiously to any gesture that seems to treat Taiwan as an independent state. They watched Russia invade Ukraine without the U.S. doing much of anything about it, except for fork over billions of our taxpayer dollars. You know, we didn't want that, but there it was. And now, like, China's looking at Taiwan and licking their lips. U.S. and Taiwanese officials have in the past floated various timelines for an invasion, often setting the horizon at 2025 or 2030. But U.S. officials now believe China may make a strong move against Taiwan within the next 18 months, according to a recent New York Times report. Though the estimate is not based on specific knowledge of Beijing's plans. The U.S. and Taiwan need to take these signals as a call to strengthen military cooperation and joint training, a Taiwanese government official in Taipei told Axios. Whether it's 18 months or 7 years from now, we need to start this process now, the official said, before it's too late. As an aside, it's probably no small coincidence that the Chinese may be moving their plans up to an invasion while Biden is still in office. They watched his and the world's reaction to Russia's invasion of Ukraine with a lot of interest. They actually did. I remember them tweeting out something about it. It was a leak from a Chinese state official to Chinese state media, effectively telling Chinese state media to be super supportive of Russia's war in Ukraine and the invasion and all that stuff, because then they could later justify their war, their invasion of Taiwan. But the larger point here is that despite the hostility and the threats, Nancy Pelosi isn't backing down here. She is standing up to one of the biggest bullies on the world stage and is almost daring them to try something. It's also not something new for Pelosi to literally fly in the face of the Chinese Communist Party. Jim Garrity points out at the National Review this morning. Pelosi sees herself as a progressive hawk on China. In recent days, people dug into the archives and found footage of her trip to China in 1991, 2 years after the Tiananmen Square massacre, when students and protesters in Beijing were crushed by the Chinese government. Pelosi and other members of Congress visited Tiananmen Square and displayed a banner honoring the demonstrators until Beijing police show up, hassling them and the media traveling with them. Back in the day, Pelosi opposed giving China most favored nation trade status, calling it, quote, a nation that proliferates weapons of mass destruction, maintains trade barriers that bar U.S. products from its market, and continues to arrest, detain, exile, and harass those who peacefully express their political and religious beliefs in China and Tibet. Where is that Nancy Pelosi when it comes to us and our freedoms? Where is that Nancy? This is the Nancy Pelosi that I can respect. Are you kidding me? Hello? As much as it may pain some conservatives to do, it is worth applauding the speaker in this trip. She is beginning a tour of Asia while the August recess is underway, and she is starting with Taiwan. This is a recognition of Taiwan's independence and a continuation of American policy on the subject. That the Biden administration is so nervous about it, to the point that they tried to tell her not to go, is telling. But at least Pelosi has the guts to follow through with her plan. That deserves praise. We can and should be cheering her on here. I agree with Joe here. And it kind of goes into what Bonchi said. Bonchi was also correct about this. It's not necessarily about Pelosi, the person, at this point in time. It's about Pelosi, the American politician, defying a communist country and visiting a country that they think is theirs. It's not theirs. Taiwan is not theirs. Taiwan is Taiwan's. And if that is the case, and that is in direct defiance of a communist nation who is our at the moment, frenemy, then I think we should cheer Nancy Pelosi on. I agree with that 100%. I think that Nancy Pelosi, oh my God, I'm about to say something that I'm like, I'm going to need a shower after this. I think Nancy Pelosi needs our support. Sorry. Oh, that was awful. That was awful. I think it's imperative. I think it's absolutely imperative. We absolutely have to let China know that we're not afraid of them. Their little saber rattling with their Bollywood-looking video is not going to intimidate us into stopping. All right? Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I'm glad that Nancy Pelosi is willing to do that. It means jack squat if Biden's not willing to back it up. Okay? It means jack squat if all Biden is going to do in this situation is cave and bow and kneel to everything that China does. It means absolutely nothing. Joe is right. There's a reason that they're doing all of this right now while Joe Biden is president. There's a reason. He's a weak leader. Joe Biden is a very weak leader. He not only is he not in control, all right, but the people who are pulling the strings behind him have proven to be massive idiots. The Afghanistan withdrawal was a stupid thing to do. You think that China wasn't watching that with great interest? Oh, they were. Our response to the Ukraine invasion, you think they weren't watching that with great interest? They definitely are. Joe Biden has made Taiwan a very hot iron to strike. And I do not doubt that China is licking its lips, raising the hammer, man. They're getting ready to bring it down. Pelosi doing this is probably far more important than a lot of people understand. Because I'm not kidding you guys. If China invades Taiwan, it could kick off a world war. I do not want that to happen. World wars are an anti-Darwinian act that costs a lot of money and lives. Don't want it. Don't want it. You guys want to go a little more? We can go a little more, right? You guys got time? You guys got time for another story? You mind if I keep going for a couple more minutes? It's been a minute. I've been gone for a week. Why not? We should dub this video. If you put these videos next to our recruiting videos, we look like it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bonchi does not play. Politics stops at the border. Amen. If we back down, we're done. Exactly. This isn't some game where the moves have been pre-planned and we're all paying for the moves. Then good on Nancy. Go Nancy. Oh, is she there now? Good. I think most of the computer chips that are made in the world are made in Taiwan. Go figure. True story, actually. I think it is just another dog and pony show on both sides. You are not wrong, Cleo, but the issue is that this dog and pony show, it's more like we'll call it theater. We'll call it theater. This theater actually does decide a lot of how one state feels about the current situation. It informs them on what they can do next. And Joe Biden has been sending all sorts of signals that China can walk all over us and we won't do nothing about it. Pelosi going to Taiwan actually does signal to China, hey, we're not scared of you. We're not scared. And we also recognize one of the things that you get the most worked up over, we're denying you. We're recognizing them as an independent state. So have fun with that. I feel unclean just from hearing that. Dude, I said it. Imagine how I feel. Not saying you're wrong. Yeah, no, I do not blame you. Nancy Pelosi has an ego. She won't let China dictate what she does. I don't think she thought China would be. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Hopkins? Or Dark Hopkins. I never tried to pronounce your name. I'm just going to call you Dark. What's up, Dark? Don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you, Amshu. Yes, please like the stream. Brandon just said we have to support Nancy Pelosi. We're all putting on the blankets to try to handle the shock. Go on. Y'all want me to go on? I'll go on. Games Without Frontiers. I've never heard that song. That's a scary situation. We have to put Skeletor instead of Destroyer. I'm coming for you, He-Man. Trans cheerleader allegedly strangles squad member after phobia inflames the man with the penis. This is from Alex Parker. What got my attention was the headline. Naturally, the headline really made me do a double take. All right, guys. It's just a very... I mean, it's an attractive headline. You know? Very attractive headline. I could look at that headline all day. According to 90s high school movies, this is from Alex Parker. According to 90s high school movies, cheerleading is a drama den. That's true. I saw Bring It On multiple times. At a recent cheer camp in Texas, things went cinematically south. Ranger College's squad was having its on-campus training when a scuffle commenced. Amid the ruckus, one cheerleader reportedly choked another. Fingered for the crime, Avery Chanel Medlock. In the aftermath, the athlete was kicked out of camp. Avery is a biological male, but the 25-year-old identifies as a girl, per the New York Post, that particularly played prominently. Police responded to a dispute between the members of the team, according to Facebook posts from team members. Medlock alleges that a teammate made transphobic and racist remarks before the altercation, with cell phone video showing other cheerleaders hiding in a room from the agitated Medlock. Wow. As for the aforementioned phobia, Avery was accused of crotchety deeds. Alex, man. Alex is killing it. On Facebook last week, the incriminated student chronicled the chaos. Well, guys, I'm officially retired as a cheerleader as of last night at 5:30 a.m. A girl on the team was being very disrespectful and told me I am a man with a penis and that guys should not be on the team. What followed was self-defense. Parents were notified nonetheless. I stood up for myself, and she called her mom and dad because she was scared. Because I stood up for myself, her father said, she still has testosterone and a penis, and I will kill anyone who comes after my daughter. Good for him. Good for him. That coming after part was purportedly perilous. Avery allegedly strangled the girl, identified as Carly, till she blacked out. Carly's dad, Mike Jones, drove immediately to the school, and now he's demanding cops release body cam and CCTV footage. Mike took to Facebook as well. I ask you what you would have done when received a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning from your daughter stating that they had locked themselves in the room with other girls. At no time did I ever say anything about your race or gender. Avery insists it was all just a joke. Evidently, officials found it unfunny. Hence, they issued criminal assault citation. Speaking to KTAB and KRBC, the scorned college co-ed denounced injustice. They knew that I was trans. They knew that I was different from all the other girls, but I thought you are just one of the girls. It wasn't a big deal until her dad came up there and made a scene. I was kicked off the team for assumptions because of the dad's assumptions of what happened. You choked out a girl. I'm gonna let the article finish. Part of the clash was captured via cell phone. Oh, we can actually watch it.
It's Avery. I need to say something. Say it. Why can't I say it in person? What are you scared of? Okay. Why can't I? Can I come in the door? Okay, Courtney, first of all, you need to calm down because, who are you talking to? Okay. First of all, whoever's in there, Presley, Kalani, Reagan, Courtney. Okay, well, I'm just letting you know that outside of cheer, I don't fuck with y'all. So after today, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. And, Presley, Kalani, whoever's in there, don't fuck with me after cheer. Reagan, if you're in there, don't fuck with me after cheer. We're only fucking teammates and that's it. Because at this point, y'all are fucking taking it out of proportion. I was just joking with Carly. I've never done anything mean to Carly. I've never done anything mean to Kalani, Presley, Reagan, or anything. Reagan, those bitches talk shit about you, saying that you're fake, saying that you only want boys. They talk about you and Micah. So, yeah, bitch, watch your back, because them bitches are fake. So, yeah. So, if anyone has a problem, come address it to my face like an adult and stop being a little scary bitch and let me know the problem. So, it doesn't have anything to do with me being drunk. I'm not drunk. I had one twisted tea and I'm above age to drink. So, if you want to tell Nicole, you can tell Nicole. You can snitch. You can be a little crybaby. Da 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 da. I don't give a fuck. But, Courtney, you need to watch your tone because, bitch, this has nothing to do with you. This has
So this apparently took place after he had choked her out, I guess?
nothing to do with fucking Kalani, Presley, or any of y'all. So, yeah. And that's all I have to say.
That's why they're hiding?
So, at the end of the day, we're just teammates. At the end of the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Courtney, shut up. You're not even in this. Okay, well, bitch, come outside then. You're a man. I'm not a man, bitch. If I'm a girl, my license says I'm a female, bitch. Okay, and what are you gonna do about it?
For those of y'all can't hear it, because the volume is a little low on their end, she's saying, you're a man. You have a penis, and he's losing it. He's absolutely losing it. And you can kind of hear them, his fan club. From it sounds like he choked that girl out, or he assaulted that girl, and those girls were hiding from him. And he decided to get on camera him trying to make it seem like he was the victim. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This whole entire idea that they have made themselves a sacred cow to the point where they can just do whatever they want and still be the victim, like, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. In the video of the altercation Medlock posted, which consists of mostly of audio, the cheerleader can be heard telling off teammates behind closed door of their transphobic comments. She can also be heard telling the teammates that she barely touched Carly and insisting any contact was merely a joke. Bitch, come outside then, Medlock tells one of the women locked in the room. You're a man, the woman responds. When Medlock responds that she is a girl, the woman in the room says, you have a penis. It's been quite the era for Avery. On April 1st, the erstwhile cheerleader celebrated making the team on social media. Photo hashtags included Scott Williams' hair and Aaron T. Teen Drew, I don't, Lutke, bra, whatever. This is apparently... Dude, this dude looks like he look at how he's... This boy looks like he got out of prison, man, and then put on a wig and makeup. Look at this. He's got these jacked up tattoos. Oh my god. Those do not look, from here at least, those do not look like they were professionally done tattoos. They don't. And on June 16th, Avery said adios dead name. Demontre Duval Satchel has been laid to rest today on June 16, 2022. Avery Chanel Satchel has risen. She is a female, and she will be addressed as such. That will is fully capped. I am now a female in the state of Texas legally. Thank you, God, for letting my dreams come true, and thank you for all who helped this process happen. I am so blessed and honored to be living in my true self, and it feels like I'm on top of the world. Well, no one can be on top all the time. Even so, observes the mail, the joke may truly be on Carly and co. In a statement, Ranger College said the school was opening a Title IX investigation into the incident. Ranger College takes all the allegations of this nature seriously and is committed to providing a learning environment free from discrimination. At this time, Ranger College is following all applicable Title IX regulations and board policies, the school said. Y'all, this is an open and shut case. Why are we why are we investigating? Why are we investigating? A man physically assaulted a woman. Choked her out until she passed out. How is this not an immediate, like, an arrest? How is it not an arrest? Why is it not an arrest? Why does there need to be a whole Title IX investigation? It's an open and shut case. I'm telling you guys, this is what happens when you create sacred cows in our society. And right now, the biggest sacred cow is the LGBT activist community. It is. It's 100% the LGBT activist community. Because they can get away with anything, apparently. They can choke you out and not go directly to prison, apparently. They can get made fun of, and you will go to jail. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Dude looks like a lady. Precisely because they think they won the situation to begin with. Why do they always sound the same? It's ma'am. No, it's not. At the end of the day, poor choice. Courtney has more balls than he does. Dude, true. That is not a cheerleader. Wow. Yeah, guy looks like a longshoreman. I get pom-poms. Look at me smile. Wow. And the makeup and the hair and just like the tattoos that are just like, I don't know if you saw, but it looked like they were on his chest and they went all the way down there. They did not look, I don't know. It just looks. That is not a woman. That is not a woman. Period. That's not a woman. The fact alone that dude choked out a girl. Nah, man. Nah, blessed. Tired of this. Fine, dude. Get it cut off. Bad thing is, you still won't be a dude. Yeah. If he's such a woman, cut off the your little buddy. Cut him off. If you're such a woman. Same thing with Leah Thomas. If you're such a woman, cut it off. Go all the way. Go the distance, man. Why aren't you? Seems a little strange to me. I thought you are a woman. Don't you want your body to mimic that? Come on, bro. We won't do anything. Yeah. It's opening the investigate animal. I think you're 100% correct. The whole we're opening up a Title IX investigation is them saying, we're going to make it look like we're doing something, but we're not really actually going to do anything. Because if we did do something and we took action, not only would they peg us as racist, they would peg us as transphobes. Possibly even sexist. Who knows? So we're going to make it look like we're doing something. And then we're going to quietly stop doing anything. If I was this family, I would 100% make sure that it kept being in the public spotlight, that the legal, like you pursued. I would sue the crap out of the college. I would sue it to hell and back. You can change body parts, but not DNA. True story. I used picked on liberally, of course. Of course. Guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me and going a little bit longer. I missed you guys. I actually did. I That's loud. Sorry for being all sore throaty and coffee. Guys, go to redstate.com. Everything that I've talked about today is on redstate.com. Join the VIP. You will see more articles go up on VIP from yours truly. Sign up with promo code Morse, MRSE, on sign up. It really helps us out. Follow me on Twitter at @TheBrandonMorse. Follow me on Instagram at @TheBrandonMorse Live. I've really kicked up my activity there while I shortened my usage of Twitter. Kind of swapped them around because Twitter is it sucks. I don't like it. In the meantime, guys, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week. And if you want me to talk about anything on Wednesday, by the way, send me a DM. My DMs are open. More than happy to talk about anything that you guys are concerned about. All right. Thanks so much, guys, for your patience. Sorry I was gone for a week, but I'm back now. I'm back now, baby. I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.